Hello, my name's Em.
Hi, my name's Hetti.
I'm 35 years old.
I'm 40 years old.
I was born in Bulwell, Nottingham.
I was born in Portsmouth and grew up in the Cotswolds in Gloucestershire.
I grew up in Bulwell until I was about 14.
I now live in Devon.
I now live in Devon with my daughter and my cat. My daughter's 8.
I'm self-employed. I run my own business called Babes in the Woods, which takes women overnight into the woodland for an unusual hen experience.
For my job, I'm a counsellor and psychotherapist. I work predominantly with teenagers, and I do a bit of teaching, and I'm a musician. Where I grew up, school was really hard work. It was a very disillusioned area. There was not a lot going on in terms of work or opportunities. It's an ex-mining town.
I always really thrived in a school environment. I worked really hard. I was really ambitious and I had really supportive parents, which obviously helps. And I'd always, ever since I was little, knew I was going to go to university. So it was never a question for me of leaving school early.
I was really badly bullied right the way through my school life, but it got particularly bad in secondary school.
And it's not to say that in my schooling I didn't experience difficult things like bullying, because I did.
So by the time I was about 12, I just sort of thought there's not a lot of point in going, really. I didn't feel like I was learning anything particularly. Classes were really chaotic, so I stopped going. I found myself really quite vulnerable, wandering around Nottingham city centre, just kind of trying to find something to do. I was really bored, basically. I didn't have any friends my own age, and you know, you're very vulnerable in that situation. So I started drinking, started taking drugs. I really just bounced around for about 10 years. I didn't really know what I was doing or where I was going. I was 22, pregnant, panicking, to be honest, thinking what we're going to do. So I went to school, I went to college, and it was quite ridiculous actually, trying to do my GCSE maths when I was heavily pregnant. I remember the exam, it was about a month before my daughter was born, and I just couldn't do it. But I managed to push through that. I went back to education. But when my daughter was, I think she was 1.5, and I've only just finished and she's nearly 9. When I returned to study, I was tested and it became apparent that I'm quite severely dyslexic and dyscalculic. So obviously that impacted on my learning when I was at secondary school, but wasn't detected at all. So I felt, looking back, I feel quite let down really by teachers not noticing that I was really struggling. And definitely the message that I got throughout my school life was that you're stupid, and a bit weird, and there isn't really space for you here. You know, that was the overwhelming message.
You know, you get spat out into life quickly enough as it is, even if you leave school at 18. You know, to try and leave school at, I think, at 16, it's just a really difficult thing to do, because you have to suddenly earn a living for yourself or face long, boring days of bed-sits where you're supported by the government, and you know that should be actually, you know, your most vital time of life. So if I were to recommend anything, it would be to just max out on that experience of being supported. And it's kind of difficult to know an opportunity sometimes and to see it when you're in it, but I think it is, and I can say that with hindsight.
My advice to anybody that's in school at the moment and maybe finding it challenging, maybe feeling like they are being squashed, because that's how I felt in school, is to get what you need from that. It doesn't mean that that's you forever. It's just now you are getting the bits that you need in order to go out in the world and do what you want to do. It's opportunities, it's possibilities, it's opening doors. The more doors that you can open for yourself, the more opportunities that you have. And just keep remembering that there's you in there, you know. There might be the you that's doing the exam, or you that's sat in a lesson that you hate. But actually, there's a bigger story. and that's you.